German modal particles. In today's lesson, I will explain you what is a modal particle and which modal particles exist and what they actually mean, which feelings you can express with which modal particle. Hi, my name is Jan and I'm your German teacher here on EasyDeutsch, your YouTube channel for German grammar. Today's topic is modal particles. Those are the small little words that make the difference in German language. Those are the ones that make German language sound cold, emotionless, if you don't understand those tiny little words and their meanings. And I will explain this meaning now to you with the help of my ebook German Grammar Explained Easily. So we're here now in my ebook German Grammar Explained Easily. Today's topic is German modal particles. Let's jump right there because we have quite many of them. So modal particles are also known as shading particles because they show different shades of meanings of other words or sentences. They are mainly used in spoken language and usually express feelings, attitude, or mood with them. You strengthen or weaken the statement, and usually you use them in the middle of a sentence behind the verb and any pronouns. So if you paid attention, those are the ones that show feelings. Yes, and those are the ones why German sounds cold to people who are not fluent in German or to people who don't know how to use modal particles, to people who don't understand those particles. In spoken language, we use them quite a lot. In written language, you have to do that with adjectives because it's very hard to actually show your feelings in just a word if you cannot see the face of the person, because you will see in a second that some of those modal particles have different meanings and sometimes even opposing meanings. So one version makes the sentence more polite, and if you pronounce a little bit differently, it makes it rude. So always pay attention here. First, understand them if you hear them, and only use them if you actually know what they mean. So let's have a look at this. One of the most common ones that you know for sure already is vielleicht. Vielleicht always express uncertainty or annoyance. Yes, could be annoyance too. Ist das vielleicht ein UFO? So is that maybe an UFO, unidentified flying object? So here the sentence works without vielleicht, ist das ein UFO? Or it can express the same thing. Remember from yesterday's lesson, German particles, linked in info cards, that we can always leave this out and it doesn't change the overall message. But with vielleicht in here, we express that we're really not sure what that is. And if we want to show annoyance, we can do that with vielleicht too. Das ist vielleicht beschissen gelaufen. So here, I cannot translate that with maybe. In English, it means simply, oh man, that went really badly. So that really went down the drain. So it is pretty much the really in English that really went badly. So vielleicht does this. You will notice English has those, but is a little limited with this. In German, we have many of those so-called modal particles. Let's have a look at ja. You know ja as yes. Well, that's one use, but we can also use it as modal particle, and then it could express that everything happened as expected. Das musste ja passieren. This had to happen. I don't know any equivalent here in English for that. It simply intensifies the, yeah, I knew it. So it just shows, I've told you, I knew it before this had to happen. Das musste ja passieren. It could also express surprise or wonder. Yep, das war ja einfach. Das war ja einfach. So this was really easy. Surprisingly, this was very easy. So the ja has pretty much the job here of the word surprisingly in English, and to make it 100% what it means in German, I even would put the really in English there too. That's all the job of ja here. So you can really see it shows some feelings here. Surprise, so that you wonder, whoa, I was expecting something different. And it can also express the warning. Mach das ja nie wieder. So never ever do that again. You can see here my different intonation of the different version. Das musste ja passieren. Das war ja einfach. Oder mach das ja nie wieder. So you can see here, according to the pronunciation, intonation, you can see what it actually means. Obviously, that's not always that easy. That's why we usually don't use this in written language, because you can understand that wrong if you don't see the face of a person, if you don't really have the situation around it. That's why always pay attention to them. If you're not sure if you should use them, don't. Just don't use them, because here it's just something not so problematic, but you will see others later. You could insult somebody if you use them in the wrong context. So let's have a look at eigentlich. I'm pretty sure you've heard that one already. Germans love eigentlich. To politely change the subject, for example, was kommt heute eigentlich im Fernsehen? So some people talking about a topic you don't really enjoy talking about, or you simply really want to change the topic because you don't want to give any information away, then we usually use eigentlich just to change the topic. We just put it into a random sentence, usually behind everything else that wants to be somewhere in front. Was kommt heute eigentlich im Fernsehen? So what's in TV today? I'm not sure if there is really something in English here. I don't think so. But it just shows that we want to change the subject. That's the job here of eigentlich. When you're contemplating something specific in reality or in actuality, you use eigentlich too. Ein neues Auto ist eigentlich zu teuer. Eigentlich kennt sich mit Computern nicht aus. So we're saying here, well, a new car is technically too expensive. Or usually, technically, she doesn't know computers very well. So it shows that normally it's different to what we are just saying, but we're actually also not that sure about it. So we want to highlight here that, well, I knew it like that, but in this particular situation, it seems to be different. Also, we can use it to, similar, like I translated here already with normally, theoretically, or disappointing surprise. Eigentlich müsste die Uhr jetzt funktionieren. So, I'm disappointed. I thought I fixed the watch, but it's still not working. So, technically, theoretically, normally, the watch should work now. So, you can see here, it could be quite different. That's why it's always important, listen to them first and use them only if you're sure you can use them in this situation. We also have denn to make requests or demands more friendly. For example, wie spät ist es denn eigentlich? We often combine this with eigentlich just to make it even more friendly. So, what is the time? There's no real translation for those two here in English. They have no real meaning at all. So they're just making it more friendly if you put them here. We can also show a negative surprise with denn. Was hast du denn gemacht? So what did you do? There's no translation here in English either. We just want to highlight that we're negatively surprised. Was habt ihr denn wieder gemacht? Same thing. What did you guys do? Again, it's a negative surprise. Yes, also Doch can be an modal particle to make requests or demands more friendly. And here is the very good example where you have to pay attention to. You can make it more friendly or unfriendly. Vielleicht holen wir doch lieber einen Elektriker. This is the question. Maybe my girlfriend is waiting for me to fix some appliances and I say, yeah, I can do that. But I'm working on it for an hour and she says like, yeah, vielleicht holen wir doch lieber einen Elektriker. So maybe we should get a professional for this job here. So she doesn't want to hurt my feelings, so she puts that in there. But yeah, it seems like I'm not making progress. So an hour later, ruf doch endlich den Elektriker an. So please finally call the electrician. So here we actually emphasize a little bit the endlich, finally. So we make it less friendly because she told me an hour before, come on, you're not gonna fix it, you can't do it, you don't know how. I really need to use that, so call the professional. And I reply, ich habe ihn doch schon angerufen. So, yeah, I have called him already. So, you can see in my English translation, this word doesn't exist. It simply shows this emotion, this feeling. You want to make it slightly less friendly here. But it always depends how you pronounce it, how do you intonate it. Depends highly on the situation. And you can also use it to remind the listener of something that is already known. So darüber haben wir doch gestern gesprochen. This is also similar to this. We make it more unfriendly. So why don't you remember that? We have talked about that yesterday. Why do you ask me that again? Darüber haben wir doch gestern gesprochen. We talked about that yesterday. We also have mal to make requests friendlier. Komm mal hierher. Please come over here. The mal is not as strong as please, but I don't know any other way to translate this here to English. It makes it a little bit more friendly, but not as friendly as bitte komm hierher. Schaltest du mal bitte das Licht an? Could you please turn on the light? You can see here imperative in combination with the particle mal. Imperative is always impolite. It's never really friendly or polite in German. But if you add a particle like mal, you can actually make it at least neutral. It depends a little bit on the situation and how you do the intonation. But this can actually neutralize the imperative and make it even a polite, a friendly question with this small little modal particle mal in here. I forgot Eben and Halt. They are exactly the same. They are synonyms and express resignation or acceptance of something. So you can't change it or you don't want to talk about it anymore. So das funktioniert halt nicht. Akzeptiere es. So that doesn't work. So just accept it. So here we simply show that resignation and tell the other person, hey, just stop. Like probably my girlfriend before when I was trying to fix the appliance, like, come on, that doesn't work. Accept it. Das kann man eben nicht ändern. So you simply can't change that. Here it's more or less simply in English, but more or less. You're simply showing resignation, acceptance here. Yeah, I simply can't change that. That simply can't be changed. We also have Wohl, and Wohl express uncertainty. So again, we are not sure about it. Similar to Vielleicht. Ob das wohl richtig ist that may correct? Wo ist Anna? Die wird wohl zu Hause sein. Where is Anna? Well, she may be at home. So that translates very well to may in English. We also have Schon and Ruhig. They're not 100% synonyms, but always express the same idea, the idea of encouragement. So we want the listener to think positively. Das wird schon wieder. It will get better is the translation of that. Das wird schon wieder means it will get better, or yeah, it will be fine. Versuch es ruhig, du kannst nichts verlieren. Just try it. You have nothing to lose. Just try it, you have nothing to lose. Here, ruhig means just. But again, not always. In this example here, you can also not really exchange them here, but they both express encouragement. It's an expression, especially that one. You could say, versuch es schon, du kannst nichts verlieren, but it sounds much better with ruhig. We also have bloß and nur. They are, again, 100% synonyms and express a warning, or they strengthen a command. Stell die Vase bloß wieder hin. So, put the vase down again. So, here, we strengthen the imperative to make it less friendly. Well, imperative is always unfriendly, but we really want to highlight you don't have another option. If you do that, you will be in big trouble. Überlege dir nur gut, was du sagst. Really think well what you're gonna say. So think twice what you're gonna say here in English. We just want to highlight again that there will be consequences. Here we strengthen the command. They don't have a proper meaning here. They just show a warning and they strengthen the command. As a task for you, always listen carefully to your German-speaking friends, because you might realize right now it's not very straightforward when to use them. So my recommendation, always try to understand when your German-speaking friends use those particles. And very important, if you aren't sure whether to use one or not, don't. And especially don't use them in serious situations. If you use them a wrong way, the polite sentence can turn into an insult. So big no-go with your boss. Always practice with your friends who will probably just laugh if you say something wrong, or will ask you, do you really mean that? So always practice with your friends and not at work. And most important, listen, and listen. And only use them when you got the feeling when and how to use them. So, do the task, and if you have any further questions about them, please do not hesitate to write your question here in the comments. I try to answer all of them. And if you liked this video, if you've learned a lot, I hope I've earned your subscription. And if you like the ebook that you've seen in this video, you can buy this. Just click on the link here in the video description. And I'm publishing videos here on my YouTube channel almost on a daily basis. So highlight the notification bell so you don't miss any of my new videos. And I hope to see you again in one of my other lessons. And until then, viel Spaß und Erfolg beim Deutschlernen.